All right, so Michelle, I'm super excited for us to be here today.
I know.
And I'm glad that you invited me to be a part of this. And I think that is so important as someone like yourself who has spent so much, I want to say probably I've known you for a while. So past 10, 15 years, I don't even know how long you've been doing Live in Fashion. But as someone who's your friend, but who's also been on the outside of your brand building, right? I have seen from the outside how you have put so much of yourself into building this. And I'm sure that you have other clients, other admirers, people that love the work that you're doing, who want to know a little bit more about what it takes to really build a brand from idea to planning and to the actual execution, and doing that within a small team, right? Because you're not big yet, you haven't scaled.
Wearing all the hats.
And so today we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we kind of get into the questions and we get into the details of what it takes to build a brand, why was doing something like this really important for you to do?
Well, for one, I don't really speak on social. I don't really speak on social media, and I get a lot of questions. So I felt like what better way than to sit down and read off their questions and just answer them genuinely. So yeah, that's what I thought would be great to do.
So you're giving your fans an opportunity to, one, hear you speak.
Yeah, exactly. Hear me talk, finally.
And then giving them some little, I guess, behind the scenes information on what it has taken for you to build this brand to what it has become.
Yeah, I'm still building.
Well, I think that we should always be in a constant state of building.
Yeah.
Right? Even when we think about some of the most well-known designers, right? They're constantly building. Every season there's a new collection.
True.
They're doing something new.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be in that constant state of movement.
Correct.
Because we know as soon as you slow down, people forget about you.
Exactly.
At least when it comes to fashion.
Yeah, it's fast.
So what inspired you to become a designer? Because I think also you're not like a traditional designer in the sense of the word that you're like sketching designs, but you have different vision and you put the vision into the Live in Fashion brand.
What inspired me to be a designer? Well, it's twofold, right? Getting into fashion was my mom.
Okay.
Because out of high school, I was real lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went into paralegal, did that, worked for an immigration lawyer, almost lost my mind. People getting deported, coming in, that pressure.
Right.
So that didn't work out for me. Then I went to social work. That wasn't for me. And my mom just said one day, you love clothes. Why not go into fashion? So immediately I said, you know what, that sounds like I'll give that a try. And when I started looking into it, I didn't want to go to FIT, which is more hands-on, like creating, because I always thought I had a fashion sense. So I didn't want anyone to touch that.
Right. So
I wanted the business end of it.
Okay.
So that's why I ended up going to Berkeley, learning the back end, like the buyers and how to buy assortments.
So how long ago was this? How many years ago? I'm not asking you to do your age. I'm just saying.
I'm like, whoa.
Because I also think it's important for people, for viewers, for your fans
to understand
to understand the journey and sometimes how long it really takes to see our dreams manifest. You know, a lot of times they see the results. They see the success of it.
I want to say, I completed fashion merchandising and marketing maybe 2002.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I've been in the industry 20 plus years.
Girl, how's that possible? You look like you're only 21.
Thank you. Let's just keep it right there. Let's just keep it right there. But yeah, I've been in the industry a very long time. I've worked every single layer. Went to school for it, interned for it, grind beyond.
So then when did you transit, like once you were done with the schooling part of it,
Yeah.
and you were done with the interning, at what point did you know that you wanted to launch your own brand? And how did you come up with the concept for Live in Fashion?
Wanting to step out on my own, I got fired
Okay.
from a job, and then I was looking for work, and I was a little bitter because I kind of felt like I had the experience, and I felt like people were calling me in just to kind of, I don't know, play with me, interrogate me.
Yeah.
So I remember going into this last interview, and the woman that interviewed me, we were going toe to toe, back and forth. And I finally said in the middle of the interview, you know what? This is not going to work between you and I. Like we don't mesh.
Right.
And I remember going home to my mom and saying to her, I'm going to open my own business because that way no one can fire me from it.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to open my own business. So I opened my own online store first.
What year was this? Do you remember?
I launched the store 2009.
Wow. Okay.
I launched the store in 2009, and then that was cool. That was cool. But if you know me, I love unique things.
Yes.
And I like to be the only one with them.
Right.
So as I was purchasing things for the website, I would see them on other sites too. And that was a thing for me. So that's where me wanting to do my own brand, where you can only get it through me, came from. So that's when I started taking it more serious. Like, okay, what are we trying to say out here in the world? What do we want people to feel when they have it? Do you just want someone going and getting something and just throwing it on? And it's just like, whatever, because we can do that all day.
Right.
But it's more than that for me. I vintage shop.
So why Live in Fashion? And I think about the brand name. Like
The name?
Yeah.
Because everything that I do revolves around it. Everything that I do.
And what does that mean for your customers? Like, what is the experience that you want them to have when they're purchasing something from you?
I just always want them to feel seen. And it's so weird because I don't like attention, but the pieces draw attention.
That's crazy because
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like every single piece that you have could stand alone.
Right. That's what it's for. It's literally for the woman who's, again, if she's confident, but she forgets. So it serves as a reminder.
Right.
So let's just take this top that I'm wearing. There's no way you're gonna go somewhere and someone's not gonna say something. One person at least. So you'll hear oh my God, I love your top. And right in that moment, it'll remind you, like, yeah, it's cute. It is a cute top.
Would you say that Live in Fashion has a signature? Like if there's something, I mean, I think I know what it is, right? But for you as the creator, when you were creating the brand, did you create it with this idea of when people see my stuff, I want them to know that it's Live in Fashion.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the thing that is going to tie everything together.
The sparkle.
Yeah.
The sparkle.
Okay.
It's the sparkle. It's
And why sparkles, right? It could have been anything else, but like, why sparkles?
again, it just serves, it just reinforces confidence. They look expensive. And there was a time going through college when I didn't really have a lot of money. I still don't have money. But
yes.
But
we're in a state of manifestation.
right. No, we are. But it looks expensive, and when you wear it, you know, the women that would compliment, and it draws them to it, they're of like a certain level. So yes, the sparkle, the light catches it a certain way. It flashes. It'll catch your attention. Like a disco ball, kind of.
You know, I was just gonna say that your pieces, for me, remind me of that real glam 70s era where everything was sparkles and everything like big and just, it calls attention.
Yeah.
You know, I think about, is it Casino, I think, with Sharon Stone and Robert De Niro. And like, I just think about how beautiful she looked, but everything was very sparkly.
Yeah. And it's also, I love sequin, but it's also a certain kind of sequin.
Yeah.
It's like the beading. It's not that,
I know.
it's not that
cheap looking. Cheesy.
It's not that cheesy.
Yeah.
You know, no, this is, someone is, as you know, in India, sitting at a table with their hands beating every piece. So it's
I want to talk about that, right?
Okay.
Because I think you could give a master class in manufacturing and how to outsource and how to find like the right team to bring your visions to life. How did you find like your team? Like, because you literally go to India.
And I'm going again.
Like, talk to me about the first time that you went to India.
The first time that I went to India, first time I went
and why? And like why?
So I tried to source the pieces here to be made. It's very expensive to get things made the way I wanted them made here in the United States. So again, vintage shopping, finding the pieces that I liked. On the tags, it would say made in India. I kept seeing it. So I was like, I have to get to India. If this is where they're making them, I gotta get there. So that's where the first thing.
That was the first idea.
That was the first light bulb, right? And then my girlfriend who travels, I had mentioned it to her. Her and I were supposed to go to India together. We did. She ended up missing her flight. So I ended up landing in India without her. She was coming the next morning. But I had traveled with her before, so she said to me, you got this. Check into the hotel, go, you know what to do, and I'll meet you the next day. And that's what happened. So I ended up going there by myself.
And how difficult or easy was to find the right team that understood your vision, that understood how important this was to you, the detail of it all? Because I think in any business, in any industry, the foundation of any business is the team, having the right team come together. So how difficult or easy was it for you to find that team that was going to be able to bring your vision to life in the way that you wanted it?
Once I got to India, it wasn't that hard because they do it. So it was more so hard here, trying to get them to understand and pricing wise, and if I can make a profit doing it here, because it's built there. It's what they do. It was pretty much easy, and I was clear on what I wanted. Like I knew the sparkle was it. So it was easy once I got there. Yeah.
And
it wasn't difficult.
How have you been able to grow your brands, right? Because I guess the vision started with the sparkles, right? And you have a signature piece that I think everyone knows you for, which is the jet set. Right. So can you talk a little bit about that? What inspired it, and I guess what has made it so popular?
Did I tell you the story, what happened with Jet Set, how it came about, or no?
I don't know, but you can tell me again.
Okay, no, so it happened the night that I was landed in India by myself. Now, the next morning, I'm meeting the Connect to take me to the market to shop the teams. And I wake up in the morning, there's no iron in the hotel. There's no iron, because it wasn't a great hotel. It was just something to stay in until my girlfriend got there. So now I'm looking at my clothes like, you know what would be so amazing if I had a piece that I could just travel with, easy, top, pants, don't have to iron it, out the door. And that is what started Jet Set. So when I met with the team that day, they had some flowy pants, and then we just kind of put the whole concept together. I expressed to them what happened, and we just built it from there. So now Jet Set is like this piece that you just travel with, and I'm rebranding it, and you'll see that's to come. But yeah, the pants, the fabric that they use, satin, it doesn't wrinkle easy.
And that's one of my favorite pieces.
Especially if it's a print. If it's a print, you can just shake it out, put it on, and you're out the door. If it gets wet in water, it dries like in 5 minutes in the sun.
I know, I love it. It's great for any occasion. It's great for the beach, for the pool, to kind of have like a nice night out where you want to look beautiful and sexy but comfortable.
Right. And then also, I wanted to include as many women as possible. So I made it no size. So the waist stretches out from small all the way out to extra, well, double XL. So if you lose weight, gain weight, whatever.
Yeah,
it still fits.
And I know that there was a season where you even kind of worked on the top.
Yeah,
a little bit. You added some stretchy in the back.
I added more fabric. It was good, but the women wanted a little bit more coverage. So I added more fabric so it wraps around more. It can conceal like your stomach or your chest. So yeah.
How do you keep the jet set fresh every season? Because I feel like you launch a new collection every summer. And so how do you decide, right, what the, I guess, style of the season is going to be for jet set? Because I have prints. I have the animal prints. I have solids. I have flowery ones, for all types of environments.
You have good ones. You have a really good one, a print that I love. That's just like a thrown one with everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you keep it fresh?
I literally just look at their fabrics, whatever they have in stock, because we use the entire roll. That's another thing. We use the whole roll. So
and then to some extent they're limited, right? Because
once it sells out, that's it. There's no more roll. I let them use the whole thing. So that's why it's so special. So if you'll never see someone else in it. That's my thing. I don't want people showing up with the same stuff on. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
So it's a true definition of who I am as a person. So, but the fabrics, to answer your question, the fabrics that they have.
What drives your creative process? Like when you're thinking about your brand and when you're thinking about new pieces to add to it, right? What is the creative mind of Michelle doing or looking like to make these decisions as to how you're gonna put a new piece?
Women, for sure. I'm always listening. Comments, things that are said in my stories, things that are said in my comments, things that are said in passing. I make notes. Things come to me a lot in the night. A lot in the night. I'm always, if you ever, I'm up, I'll just post the time. That's me up creating. Something will just come into my head with an idea. I'm more hands-on, so I need to be able to actually put the garment, how can I say? There's so many different ways to process this, but it just comes to me. It's just listening to the women,
right?
Like listening to their sizing, to their concerns, their issues. Like for example, the jet set was created for that specific reason. A lot of comments I got was they want to cover their arms, so they wanted me to add sleeves, create a shirt, which I can do, but I like that jet set is what it is.
Right, that could just be,
and that's what it's gonna be.
I had
to decide.
It could be something. It could be it doesn't have to be the jet set. It could be something else that
jet
you
set
add.
R.
Yes.
Which is what I'm
jet
working.
Set 2.0.
Exactly.
Something.
Yeah, something else. Jet set has to be just jet set. I don't need to tamper with it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So talking about having like a jet set 2.0, have you thought about adding other things to your collection, like shoes, handbags, when you take into consideration like all of the things that women need to kind of complete a look, right? It's not just the outfit, but it's you already have the accessories, but like handbags, shoes. Has that been anything that you've thought about?
I've thought of it. I used to do shoes before I started doing clothing, which is interesting. But it has to make sense.
Okay.
I'm learning as time goes on with this brand, and I actually came up with this slogan that I finally can attach to Live in Fashion, which is design with intent. Because everything that I put in that collection, there's a reason for it. There's a reason behind it. So it just has to make sense. That was another reason why it was important that I did my own thing, because I love everything.
Yeah.
I just had to create the brand and kind of like put everything underneath the umbrella. So shoes, handbags, I even started doing things for men. Men were getting left out, messaging me, wanting hoodies, and
Have you seen a lot of support from men? I know that you have the Live in Fashion hoodies and the sweatshirts, and I see your men brand ambassadors, wear the sweatshirts
it's
proudly.
It's the funniest thing to me because
and you also have little children, kid fans.
I know.
Who made you add to the collection.
What's so funny about the sweatshirt was that I used to cut the neck off so it could hang like this.
Right.
And then the men got involved and I stopped cutting it. Like, okay, guys, you can have it. A lot of support from the men. They just want to buy. They just want to support. So instead of just like throwing the money, now it's an actual. Here you can.
Right. A part of the line.
They just to support. Yeah. But it is a good hoodie though. It does feel good. It is.
Yeah, the quality's great.
It is. Yeah.
It's warm.
It's very warm.
And they last.
They do.
I told you, I think I have, how many colors do you have? I personally have the white, the black, burgundy, and the royal blue.
Yep.
I think that's all. And they all look brand new still. And
Yeah,
they're years old.
They're good.
Great quality.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. They're comfy, and now they're like broken in and just comfy. Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
What has been the most challenging aspect of building and scaling your brand? And I think that's something we don't hear too often from designers or even from anyone that's trying to build a business. There's never a linear path to it, right? There's always ups, downs, sometimes you're sliding back.
Yeah.
You could get stuck in a mud hole or something.
Right.
So what has been some of the most the challenges in building and scaling the brand?
Staying true to that vision, staying true to the reason why you started. You know how they say you have to know your why?
Yeah.
If you know that and you go back to it, it reminds you of what you're doing. There's so much going on outside right now. It's noisy. And you gotta be able to block that stuff out so you can stay true to what you're doing. I could have easily gotten caught up in what everyone else is doing, which is this, and there's no shade to it, please don't, because I rock with it too, all the, the mass market brands.
Yeah.
That's cool, that's just not what I'm doing. So the woman that is, live in fashion, she wants to be unique.
Yeah.
She wants to be able to pull a piece out years from now and it still be.
Yes.
This was the first blazer that I did years ago, and it's still.
No, and I have to attest that your pieces.
Because you have sequin pieces.
Because I have sequin pieces, and they still look brand new. But I do only bring those out for special occasions, like the times when I really do want to be seen, and when I'm walking in and I want people to be like, "Ooh, what is she wearing?
Right.
What is that?"
Yeah.
And because they are so limited, I never have to worry that I'm gonna show up someplace and somebody's gonna have on the same thing that I have.
And that's what it's about for me. I've always been like that. That's the thing. Even as a child, in elementary school, I never wanted the same sneakers the kids had, the same coats. I just was always different. So, and it's a good thing and a bad thing. You don't want to go too far, too different, where no one can relate.
Right.
You gotta stay relatable.
How do you stay relatable?
Keep young ones around you. Kiara, keep young ones around you. Relatable.
Yes.
I mean, my hand is to it. But the most important thing to me is staying true to myself. I have to be okay with what's on the racks out there and what people are wearing with my name on it.
Something that just kind of came to my mind.
What happened?
Thinking about the relatability and then saying, to stay with young people. But your pieces, I think, transcend across all ages as well. Because the babies, yes, because my daughters own Live in Fashion pieces, and when they owned them when they were really young.
Yes.
But then also, I remember my mom.
Yes,
wanting a specific jet set print, and it was already sold out by the time, but she wanted it.
Yeah.
And I just thought that at that moment I was like, man, Michelle really has something special here, because these pieces transcend age. Like any woman at any age, not only can wear it, but they want to wear it and still look amazing.
Yeah.
because she wanted to take mine.
I remember.
Mine, and I was like, no, you could borrow it, but mommy, I don't want to give it to you.
Right.
Let me see if she has another one.
It was actually, it was a sequin piece, the sequin multicolored top of
yes, it was the jacket.
It was the jacket.
Yeah, I didn't give her mine. She wanted it, but I didn't.
And I was looking for it, and I couldn't find the same thing. But
and the thing is, my mom is really tiny. She's small, so even when she was wearing my jacket, you know, it was a little bit big on her.
Yeah, but she didn't care.
She didn't care. No. But I was like, no, you can't have it, Ma.
Yeah,
I'll let you borrow it.
It transcends over different ages, but I'm just now starting to feel confident with that because, again, like I said, everything being mass market, if it's not that, you feel like it's not happening or it's not good, you know, and now I don't believe that. Now I know there's a certain audience, you know, and I don't want to fit for everyone. So yeah, I'm okay with it now. It was a little struggle in the beginning because you want to be pleasing to everyone, but as you go through the journey, you realize that you're not for everybody. You're not for everybody, and I'm so okay with that.
Right, and I want to be clear there too, right? Because you want to be inclusive of everyone within the market that you're designing.
Correct.
Correct. Right. So you're not designing for a specific size,
right,
or specific socioeconomic status, but it's really for the woman who values beauty and like iconic pieces,
the
and
process of it,
right,
that you're wearing. And to me, like, you're wearing art, right? Like someone, like, it's 30 something hours to get a jacket complete. Like, that's
right, because your pieces are handmade. So it's not
someone sitting there at a table with the bag of beads.
And I love that you show that process.
I'm gonna show it more.
Like, I love that.
Because it is amazing.
Because we don't get to see the actual process of when things are being made, from the point that they're being made to the moment that you're actually wearing it, and to know that like someone created this.
Yeah, I have to show it more. It's such a personal thing to me. I didn't realize how secretive and how private I am with my brand until just now. And watching other people showcase their stuff, I'm real private with it.
Well, sometimes I think too, you have to, in order to protect what you're building, you can't share all the trade secrets.
Correct.
Right? Like, Coca-Cola's not sharing how they make, you know, the Coke, Pepsi or whatever. There are some things.
But you can take a walk in the factory, you can see how we work in the office, right? But you're not gonna come to the tank.
Exactly.
No, I get it.
So I want to shift a little bit. I think we talked a lot about the brand.
Okay.
And I think we've gotten through most of the questions.
This is what they want to know. So
that they wanted to know about the brand.
Okay.
But I want to get a little deeper now.
Sure.
With the woman behind the brand, and considering all that you've gone through, building the business, the challenges that you've encountered. How does Michelle keep it all together? Because from the outside, looking at you, right? I mean, you're always looking beautiful, and you don't share much of your private, personal life on socials. So how do you keep it all together? What's happening behind the scenes that we don't usually get to see?
I'm laughing because of that meme where it's like, the girl is like, I can handle everything, and in 5 minutes she's in the corner like, day by day, prayer. I journal a lot. You gotta get comfortable with yourself, your own thoughts. A lot of people can't understand or see what's in your mind or your vision. So you kind of just got to execute and then let them see it or catch up to you. Holding it all together. It's not all together. It's not. But I'm just not, at this point, scared to try. It's more scary to me not to try and have to wonder what if. I will not be okay with leaving the world, have not tried.
Not tried.
Yeah, so it's okay at this point. I don't know. Success looks different to everyone.
Well, what does success mean to you? What does it look like for Michelle?
I feel like I am successful at this point. The fact that I was able to go to India,
Yeah.
and I go there every year, and I'm still doing what I love to do, and executing these ideas in my head and bringing them to life, and then working and then seeing them on people and then moving in them,
Yeah.
is success to me. So
How do you deal with the failures? And not just in business, but when you think about just those moments.
I'm not okay with it. I'm learning. I'm getting better with learning to look in and take the lesson in everything. But my mom says I'm very hard on myself. I'm a very passionate person in everything that I do. If and that my energy is very much felt. When it no longer serves me, you'll know it too.
Ooh.
You'll know it too. Yeah, it's cold there. So when you're passionate, it's like you put everything into it. So,
What keeps you centered and focused? Like even like through those hard moments, maybe when you're struggling with the creativity, or maybe when you don't know what is the next path for you, how do you keep yourself centered and focused?
I'm learning to be still. Be still. When you're not sure, I don't think you should just go with the first thing. I think, like I said, a lot of answers and clarity come to me in the night. So I will literally pray very hard before I go to sleep. And then I feel like around 2:33, I'm being woken up with something. Yeah.
Wow.
I have literally, so many ideas have come from the night. It's crazy. But solitude and being still. And then you can hear your own thoughts. Sometimes you have to log out of that. Social media is great. But when you're so deep in, you don't even know what your thoughts are anymore.
You're right.
You've got to be able to tap out of that for a day or two, just to hear your own thoughts. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? So that's how I kind of get back to my center.
How do you cultivate joy and happiness in your life?
That's a good one.
Like when you think about the moments when you're most happy, what are you doing?
Receiving compliments from women that have made purchases, or it can be so random. Like you're not even thinking about business, you know what I mean? Or you get a text, or you get tagged in a post or something, Or, oh, my boyfriend never compliments me and he saw that jacket and I had it on and it was, things like that make me happy. My life has gotten very, very simple these past few years. So it's just peace and calm.
I think those things are underrated, right? And I love that you mentioned that, because I think when it's all said and done, what we're all really seeking is to have that peace. Peace within ourselves, peace in our relationships, peace with the work that we're doing that brings like the satisfaction of it all. So I love that you said that, because I don't think it's something people are aware of.
Yeah, I think once you touch it and you know it's
You
there,
want more of it.
you yearn for it. You can't even sit in anything else.
Right, and that's those moments where you could really live out the saying, like, I'm not letting anything disturb my peace. When you understand what peace really is, you don't tolerate anything that disturbs it.
It's a thing. It's almost like this protective shield around you. Like you can walk into something and you can feel it. Like, oh no, this is not going to work for me tonight. Like you just know.
Yeah. How do you practice self-care? And what does self-care mean to you? Because I think it means something different to everyone.
Self-care, sleep.
Yes.
Without an alarm set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's self-care to me. I'm getting better with the skincare routine. I've just gotten into that. I mean, what? And
you have beautiful skin.
Thank you.
My kids have gotten me into a skincare routine, if you could believe it or not. Because they're babies,
the babies
with perfect skin, and they're in the bathroom with like cleanser and toner and moisturizer. And they're like, Mom, you really need to do a skincare routine. I'm like, little girl, if you don't leave me alone.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Drinking water.
All the things that they try to encourage us to do when we were younger, right?
I can't. Sleep. for me.
Sleep,
Self-care.
skincare, and water. Those are your three main.
Well, I have to get better on the water.
Okay. You know, drink more water is on my vision board this year. And my girlfriend was like, you really need to drink more water. You need to put this on your board. I was like, okay. Having friends that keep you accountable. Isn't that important?
It is. It definitely is.
Let's talk about your tribe, your sister squad. How do they keep you accountable to your dreams and your goals?
That's a very good question. It's important to have people around you that are supportive and that do get it. You know, when you're starting something, you want everyone to support you and understand it.
Right.
That can be tricky.
Yeah,
that can
you
be
have
tricky.
to also. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, but let's talk more about that.
Because I think that a lot of times as creators, creative people, business owners, there's an expectation that we have for our family and friends to support us, right? But then it's clarifying, well, what does that really mean? Because they can support you and not necessarily be your customer.
Right.
Or your client.
Yes, and that's fine.
And that's fine.
That is fine. I had to get to that stage as well. Of course, when you first start, you think support means purchasing.
Right.
No, support can be anything. It can be you seeing the post, liking it. It can be you seeing me in public and saying, hey, I saw that, that was amazing.
Right.
Or asking about it. As a creative, you think it's great, but you don't know what anyone else is thinking. So share that, you know what I mean? People tend to want to tell you things behind the scenes. You know, it's okay to say it in front of the audience so other people can see what you're thinking that's positive. But again, at this point for me, because I'm a little seasoned in it, I understand that not everyone is going to understand your mission, and that's okay. Yeah. So I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, I think that requires growth.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of get to that point. And I know a lot of times we want the people who are closest to us to support us, but they may not be there yet.
And it's not their job to.
Right.
This is first step is, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're doing it for you and your why, it has nothing to do with Shantae or Keith or whoever.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they get it, that's great. But if they don't, okay.
Right, it doesn't take away from the love that they might have for you or the well wishes that they have. Yeah.
Right, their role is to be your friend or be your cousin or your mom, not
to be a customer.
Not to be a customer.
Yeah. So one of the questions that your community has that we want to know is, what is your favorite set of flowers? Because you're big on, like, you're always posting flowers and giving yourself flowers. Like, I see it all the time on your social.
Because somewhere I saw that you should do for yourself what you would want others to do for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, flowers in my home are priority. It just makes you feel, luxury. Like, I love when I walk out in the morning to open the blinds and they're there, and then they've opened up full or something. It shows that you can care for something.
But getting yourself flowers every week could be expensive. I used to have my husband every week.
It can be.
Like, bring fresh flowers. Like, whenever we go like to the supermarket, I'm like, when you come home, like, these are the flowers I want. He would. And we were we were doing our budget. No. And we were like, wait a minute, we're spending what?
I'm not gonna
on
lie.
flowers?
I'm not.
So I went to, I think, Home Goods or one of those places, and I spent like $100 like on a vase, but with some flowers that look real, and now they just there all the time.
Okay.
I spent $100 one time.
No.
For the flowers that live forever.
Okay. I don't know. It's something about the freshness of them for me, and just being able to care for something. For me now, it's like this game where I want to make sure that they reach the full peak every single time I get them. So it's the food, the ice cubes, the water, the whole
taking
thing.
care of them.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite set of flowers?
Oh, funny. I love lilies. They smell so good, but that orange thing in the middle falls off and stings.
It makes a mess.
We're not doing that.
Yes.
So it's roses. It's after that.
Any specific color or just any kind is fine?
Any kind.
Any kind?
Yeah. But I do love lilies. They smell so good.
What's your favorite movie?
that I can watch all the time, over and over and over again. Pretty Woman.
Oh, that's one of my favorites
Pretty
too.
Woman. No matter what's going on, whenever part I see it, if I'm going out, I have to sit and watch. Like, I can watch it.
I was just
love
talking
it.
about Julia Roberts yesterday. We were talking about another movie she did, Erin Brockovich, and like how good that film was.
I haven't watched that one yet.
But we were saying like she was so beautiful,
In
like
that movie, naturally.
in her youth. And Pretty Woman, she was stunning.
She was that
Like
hair.
that hair, the red, you know, her full lips. Like she was just
I love that movie.
beautiful. But yeah, it's one of my favorites too. And it's funny though, because when it came out, we were young. Like what were young girls? You know, why were we so mesmerized
I
by
didn't start respecting it until later on.
the story of a prostitute, basically?
Oh my God, you're right.
'Cause, I mean, she was, you know, a call girl.
She was. But she evolved, which I think is
Yes.
so great.
Yes.
You know?
That's what you want to see, right?
Yeah.
Evolution in anything that we're doing. But it's so interesting that so many women like our age, when we were watching that movie, we were young.
Yeah, we were.
So it's interesting that you said that. All right, so I have a fun round here of if you had to choose.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you had to choose dress or pants?
Okay. I think pants.
Okay.
It's weird. I've gone through phases. I had my dress phase where everything was a dress and my legs, because I'm tall.
Right.
But now I feel like my legs are a little, so I'm more into, so now I'm more into like, you know,
Pants,
oversized pants. Yeah, so you really can't tell what's going on there.
That's so funny. Okay, the beach or woods? The woods.
Beach,
Okay. Coffee or tea?
tea, mint tea,
Champagne or signature cocktail?
signature cocktail. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then this is not if you had to choose, but when you're not working, what does Michelle do for fun?
Dinner with girlfriends, toasting, forever toasting. Just being out. I love a nice little vibe, the food.
What's your favorite type of food?
Seafood. I love seafood.
Nice.
I do. I eat it till I get so sick of it. You know what I mean? Like I overdo it.
That's not good.
I know.
Okay, so and then lastly, where do you see the brand in 5 years?
To be determined. Yeah, I can't even, because like I said, I feel like I've already gotten to a place of where I'm just like, wow, like you did that, you know? I don't know. I used to want to be in a store. I'm not sure if I want to do that anymore, or just kind of like be exclusively to just like my website.
Yeah.
I don't want a brick and mortar. I don't want that. Maybe a showroom, but then I'm just, I don't know.
Fashion shows, maybe?
Well, sure. Well,
Showing.
Sure.
Is there anything else that you want your community to know about you that I haven't asked today?
That when I'm quiet, you know, I'm in the lab.
Okay.
I'm always in the lab creating. I'm so thankful for them because they understand me showing up and disappearing for a little bit. They know that it's not cookie cutter. And yeah, that's just the nature of the brand.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For taking this time to kind of let the community know a little bit more about you, about the brand, about what inspired it, and about what's to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for giving me this
Thank you.
opportunity.
This
This
was
has
great.
been fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.